When spring comes and we are ready to spend more time outside and less time in the kitchen, it can be simple to still cook from scratch by using staple ingredients and keeping the meals easy. Come be a fly on the wall as I share what my family of 6 eats in a typical day. Hey guys, it's Sarah from the blog sarahjeanmelito.com, and today I'll be taking you along as I cook for my family in early spring. We are in an abundance of eggs lately as the days get longer and basically all of my chickens are laying now. So we have 15 chickens and we're getting about a dozen eggs a day. My kids are starting to ask for something else besides fried eggs and scrambled eggs every day. So a few times a week, we've been trying to switch it up and do something fun like sourdough waffles, quiche, breakfast scramblers, or sourdough pancakes like we're making this morning. We recently went on vacation to Florida and just got back a few days ago, which is why I didn't get to post a video last week. But we went to an awesome farmer's market in the town that my dad lives in, and guess how much money I paid for a dozen fresh eggs? $10.50. I could not believe that. It was very hard for me to pay that knowing how many eggs we had at home. But when we're on vacation, I try to cook a lot of meals, especially since these days the price of food has skyrocketed, so it costs an arm and a leg to take my family, plus my dad, out to eat. We obviously did eat out quite a lot, because we're on vacation and stuff, but I go grocery shopping the first day that we arrive. I actually get a grocery order delivered now because I don't want to go grocery shopping on my first day of vacation, so we just do a quick Instacart order from Sprouts, and that way as soon as we get off the airplane, get to my dad's house, we have food and I can stock up his fridge and everything and we can cook for the week. We just do like really easy things like sandwich meat, fruit, veggies, cereal, stuff like that, because we also go to the beach a lot while we're there. So just keep it easy, and he has some ingredients at his house, but not much. So it was so nice to be on vacation and see my dad, but there's nothing like coming home to your own house, your own bed, and to me, I was especially excited to get back into my own kitchen. My kitchen is probably my favorite place, and I love making my family meals every single day there. These sourdough pancakes that I'm making are super easy to make with sourdough discard, eggs, vanilla extract, baking powder, and baking soda, butter, or whatever oil you want. You could use coconut oil, that would be fine, flour, milk, and a little sugar, or you can use honey. You can find the exact recipe over on my blog, sarahjeanmelito.com, or linked in the description box below. I love using this little copper-plated griddle that my grandmother got us for Christmas. This is probably like 5 years ago, probably longer than that, but we use it for our pancakes, quesadillas, and when I'm making things like pita, naan, or tortillas. And we also take it with us when we go camping because it's super easy to make a whole bunch of things on it, like eggs and bacon and all that while we're camping. We did still serve eggs as a protein with the pancakes, but my kids were very excited that we were making pancakes this morning. And I also made some bacon. I usually cook my bacon in the oven because it's less messy and very hands-off, so you just put it in the oven for 15 minutes and you can go about making everything else that you need to. Recently got pig meat from a local farm, and the pigs were raised by a 4-H club, which are kids learning about animals and taking care of them and stuff, which I thought was really, really cool. And the meat was cured without nitrates, which I think is so important too, because the stuff they add to bacon and sausages is really gross and contains harmful ingredients. And I just learned that within the last couple of years. And that just blows my mind that they're adding carcinogens and just gross ingredients to bacon. And, nitrates are linked to cause cancer. So it's just like, why are they putting that type of stuff in our food? What are they doing to us? I just don't know. So anyway, I'm just really glad that this meat was cured with celery salt and other ways to preserve it and make it taste good. Knowing where your meat comes from is just a small way to become more sustainable, connects you more to the land, and supports local farmers too. You know the quality of the meat and how it was raised and how it was treated, and I think that is just so important in today's world. I served alongside the pancakes, bacon, and eggs some fresh fruit. We always have fresh fruit with breakfast. I love oranges in the morning. That's like my signature staple. Every morning I have an orange. And right now I'm loving Cara oranges. They're so juicy and delicious. And my kids had a side of blackberries. We love having smoothies for an easy and filling snack because you can just like customize it to whatever you have in the fridge or whatever you need to get rid of. Clearly, I needed to get rid of these bananas. They were like so old. It was like I needed to use these days ago, and I said I was going to make banana bread, but I just never got around to it. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to have smoothies for a snack this morning. And so I just used up the bananas, some coconut water, Greek yogurt, collagen powder, or you can use protein powder, cacao. I love adding milled flax seeds to my smoothies because they add a lot of protein and they're super good for you. I also added some dehydrated kale, and I realized after that I forgot to add in my frozen fruit, so I just added in a strawberry, mango, and pineapple mix. I usually do add milk to my smoothies too, but we hadn't gotten our goat's milk for the week, so we were running low on milk. And I love adding greens to our smoothies. We were outside like all morning working in the garden, just getting some stuff done. So for lunch, I just wanted to come in and whip up a salad, but I didn't have any protein prepared. So I cooked some eggs in my Instant Pot to hard boil them, and then I cooked up some chicken breasts and butter with some simple spices. I ended up using the hard-boiled eggs and the chicken for other meals during the week too, so I was happy to have the extras prepared to use for lunch. We usually do like charcuterie boards, leftovers, or something really simple for lunch around here. And I didn't really mind. I know the chicken and the eggs seemed like they took a little while. It probably was like 15 minutes to prepare that. But like I said, used them for the rest of the week for 1 or 2 days. So I was happy to at least have those. I do miss having my farm share for fresh veggies. We do a farm CSA share for fall, winter, and spring months, but there's been a few week break before the next one picks up, before the spring one begins. And there's really nothing like fresh organic veggies if you can grow them in your backyard or get them from a little town farm down the street. So for now, I'm just grabbing veggies from the grocery store, and they really do not taste the same, but I'm doing my best, and that's what matters. For the salad, I just used some mixed greens, tomatoes, some cheese. I shredded up some raw cheese. We had some leftover bacon from breakfast, so I just threw that on, peppers, cucumbers, and avocado. I also make my own honey mustard dressing, which is really easy, but I needed mayo to make that, so I just quickly prepared some mayo. I've been making my own mayo for about 2 years now, so I know you're probably, some of you might be thinking like, you easily whipped up some mayo, but I've been doing it now for 2 years, so I know the ingredients in the back of my hand, and it's super easy for me to just whip it up. It takes maybe 3 minutes for me to throw it together. And healthy mayo can be really expensive, so it's nice just to be able to throw it together when I need it and know exactly what goes into it. I just add 1 cup of avocado oil, 1 egg, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon of vinegar, a dash of mustard, and salt and pepper, and then I just use my immersion blender to blend that up until it's thick. Now making my dressing will be quick since I just mixed up some organic stone ground mustard, my mayonnaise, and honey. And it's as simple as that to make honey mustard. I think sometimes it can be overwhelming to start cooking from scratch, not knowing where to begin or how to start incorporating things into your daily life. But I will tell you what's worked for me. It's taking one thing at a time. When I wanted to learn how to make sourdough, I solely focused on that until it became a part of my routine and, to feed my starter and make my family bread. I didn't just wake up one day and know how to make sourdough bread for my family, like clockwork. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to slowly start incorporating things into your routine. So once I mastered sourdough, I moved on to the next thing, like making my own bone broth, and then that became a staple part of my routine, and so on. Dressings were very easy to master too, so I almost never buy dressing at the store anymore. Guys, information overwhelm is a real thing, so take it one step at a time. Just work them into your daily or weekly rhythms until they become second nature. Don't overwhelm yourself, because then it will seem so daunting to cook. It will seem daunting to prepare from scratch meals from your family. It will really take a toll on you if you start to just go full force at this all at once. Like I said, take it one thing at a time. These salads with the honey mustard were so good. People are always shocked to hear that my kids actually eat salad, but I do have one kiddo who doesn't really care for lettuce, so she just gets the whole salad fixings without the lettuce, and she eats the whole plate. There's lots of yummy protein in this salad, and cooking my fresh backyard eggs in the Instant Pot made them super easy to peel. After lunch, we're going to head back outside and work on some projects. We're actually getting bunnies here on our little homestead soon. So that's what we've been working on lately, or should I say, I've been making my husband work on that, and I'm assisting. We actually got a free coop. It's a chicken coop off Facebook, and we are turning it into a little rabbit hutch. There's always something going on around here. When the weather turns warmer, we have project after project and lots of stuff to do. We just had a light snack between lunch and dinner, just some carrots, crackers, raw cheese, and pumpkin seeds. The kiddos had the same thing, just on a smaller plate. They love these. They call them little snacky plates, and I do this probably either for morning or an afternoon snack at least a couple times a week. For dinner, I prepared my sourdough breadsticks, and these are so dang good. It's like the Olive Garden breadstick with a sourdough twist. You can get this recipe in the description box or go to my blog, sarahgmelito.com. You will want this recipe. They are so easy and minimal ingredients, which I love. I start off with a half a cup of sourdough discard, a few tablespoons of butter, a cup of water, but milk would also make these really yummy as well. And then I do a few cups of flour, which was clearly difficult with my little guy in my arms, but lately he's been getting into the dog food when I put him down, and he wasn't letting me put him in our little pack and play. We have like one of those octagon pack and plays, and he was not having it. So anyway, I added some honey, salt, and then I mix it a bit in my KitchenAid mixer. Once it's combined and just like come together, I switch to a dough hook. I let it knead for about 10 minutes. And of course you could do this without a KitchenAid mixer. It would just be a complete workout to try to knead that bread. But, mama, you do that if you have to do it. I have kneaded bread on the counter, and it is fun. It is a workout, but I didn't have two hands free, so I used my KitchenAid mixer today to do that. Then it sits on the counter for a couple of hours, or you could alternatively put this in the fridge. The fridge, if you didn't know, is your best friend when it comes to sourdough baking, because it puts things on pause in there and you can come back to it when you have the time. So when folks ask me how I make my sourdough bread and how I have the time to do that and, bake other goods and stuff, I say I don't think too much about it. If it runs into a time where I have to leave the house or I'm going to bed and I can't be there to watch it, I just stick it in the fridge. When the dough was risen enough, it didn't technically double in size, but it rose a lot. I shape the breadsticks and then I cover them back up again for about an hour before baking them. In order to shape them, I kind of like pull them all together into a ball and then I roll them out on the counter, and they're about 6 inches long. My recipe makes about, it just depends on how big you're going to make them. Today I made them, I should say, I didn't let them rise long enough because my starter wasn't ready in time and it was just a whole thing, but I really, really wanted them with dinner, so my dough didn't quite make as many as it normally does. It only made 8, but it usually makes 12 breadsticks. For dinner, we decided to cook on our Blackstone grill because it was so nice outside. Sometimes when the weather warms up, we'll cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the Blackstone because it's minimal cleanup, it's so easy, and everything tastes really good when it's cooked on the Blackstone. If you're thinking about it or you're on the fence about getting a Blackstone, this isn't sponsored or anything, this is just my honest opinion. We love ours. We also still use our regular grill, but we use our Blackstone way more, so we just actually decided we used to have our old grill up on the deck, but we switched it and put the Blackstone up there because we use it so much in the warmer months. I'm just cutting up some potatoes to put on there and make like home fries for a side, and then I'm also going to roast up some broccoli. The breadsticks were ready to go in the oven, so I put those in for about 20 minutes, and here is my little guy saying hi. He is getting so big now. He is almost 9 months old. He has so many teeth. He is such a good baby. I mean, the fourth one kind of just rolls with the punches, you know. He's easy going and always smiling, and such a good little boy. For the broccoli, I just use olive oil or avocado oil and massage that in before putting on the spices. And yes, my husband here, if you didn't know, I'm married to Emerald Lagasse. He is just putting on some salt. He took this seasoning, very seriously. He added salt and garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. And we just keep it really simple with the spices, and I put that in my little Breville oven for 20 minutes. I love this Breville Smart Oven. Not only do we use it every morning to make toast, but for when I'm cooking 2 things at once with different temperatures. It's just a really great kitchen appliance that we use multiple times a day. To fry up the potatoes on the Blackstone, we use some bacon grease, and if you haven't used bacon grease or lard or tallow to fry up your potatoes, it tastes so good. And actually, it's healthy for you, despite what the internet may tell you. We are also making steaks, so we seasoned those with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder as well, and left them on the grill for about 10 to 12 minutes. Some were bigger than others, so you got to be careful when you're cooking grass-fed steak or grass-fed meats, because if you cook them too fast, it doesn't taste very good and it comes out really chewy. We have learned this in our years of buying grass-fed cow shares. So every year we split a cow with a couple families, and at first when we were cooking everything, it just doesn't cook the same as grain-fed or grain-finished meat. It just doesn't. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't cook the same. I actually prefer grain-finished steaks, but we get the steaks in our share, so we just eat them. We just try to cook them as best we can. When the breadsticks are all done, I just melted some butter, add on some herbs with garlic powder, and then I brush that on because it really, really takes these breadsticks up a notch. This dinner was so good, and it didn't take us that long to prepare it, and it was nice because my husband and I did it together. I did a couple of things, he did a couple of things, the kids played outside, and it really just made me happy to think about all of the warmer days ahead. And I cannot wait to start eating outside because that just results in less cleanup, which is amazing, especially if you have a large family, especially when my baby's eating and He's been throwing stuff all over the floor, and I mean, my dogs definitely clean up a lot of that mess. But, you know, just eating outside, there's nothing like it. It's better for you to eat outside, actually, if you did not know that, because it gives you optimal digestion. You're soaking up that fresh air, that vitamin D. You know, you're just metabolically speaking, it's just better for you to be eating outside. And who doesn't love eating their meals outside? I mean, come on, especially when the weather is nice. Anyway, I hope that this video inspired you to start cooking easy spring foods and give you some ideas for the week ahead. And if you are new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It helps me so much when you hit that subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications when my next video comes out. I put up a new video every single week, and you can like this video, and I would love if you left me a comment. Let me know what are some of your favorite meals that you start cooking when the weather gets warmer. I hope to see you guys next week, and thank you so much for watching.